Let's solve part B now. So suppose that the buyer's valuation of a bad car is 1,600 euros and of a good car is 4,000 euros. Now, is it efficient for both cars to be traded? What is efficiency about? Well, efficiency is when the price that the consumers are paying covers the price that the sellers are willing to get, meaning that the willingness to pay must cover the willingness to sell, at least. So, is that true? Well, the buyers are willing to pay 4,000 euros for a good car and the sellers are willing to accept 3,000 euros. So yes, good cars can be traded. And the same logic goes over here. The buyers are willing to pay 1,600 euros for a bad car and the sellers are willing to accept 1,000 euros for a bad car. So again, bad cars would be traded. Meaning that if they actually pay what they're willing to pay, then yes, we would have efficiency. So we would have efficiency. All cars would be traded. Efficiency. Now, let's look at part C, what's happening there. So in part C, we are asked which cars will be sold. Again, we're having information asymmetry. The buyers don't know what cars they're getting, meaning that they pay the expected value. They pay the average willingness to pay. So the average willingness to pay is based on these two values over here. The best case scenario when they get a good car and the worst case scenario when they get a bad car. Meaning with the probability of 1/2, the buyers are willing to pay 4,000 euros because that's the chance of getting a good car. So they would have 4,000 euros over here, and with the remaining probability of 1/2, they're willing to pay 1,600 euros because that is the probability of getting a bad car. Now what do we have? A half times 5,600, that's 2,800. 2,800 would be the price that the buyers are willing to pay. So this is the willingness to pay of the buyers now. Price of the buyers. What's happening here? Well, for 2,800 euros, the sellers are not going to sell the good cars because they need at least 3,000 euros. So sellers are not selling the good cars. Sellers are not selling good cars. Selling good cars. Now, because the buyers know that the sellers do not get as much as they want, the buyers anticipate that they would be sold only bad cars. So buyers anticipate that they would get bad cars. That they get bad cars. And since the buyers get bad cars and they're willing to pay for that at most 1,600 euros, there's no point for them to pay 2,800 euros, meaning that the buyers are going to pay at most 1,600 euros. So buyers pay at most 1,600 euros for a bad car. Meaning that if the price is gonna be at least 1,000 euros that the sellers require and at most 1,600 euros that the buyers are willing to pay, they are going to trade only bad cars. So no good cars are going to be sold because, again, the sellers are not getting the money that they want. So when the price is between 1,000 euros and 1,600 euros, then only bad cars are sold. So only bad cars are sold. And that's it. Hope this makes sense. In the next video, we go to part D.